If you work in architecture, interior design, or civil engineering, you probably know this scene too well. The design work is only one part of the job. Around it, there are client emails, meeting notes, code excerpts, RFIs, product sheets, consultant comments, and long reports that never seem to stop growing. Many professionals do not lose time because they cannot design. They lose time because important information is scattered everywhere. In this video, we look at Claude as an architectural project copilot, not as a replacement for your judgment, but as a document partner that helps you read, organize, compare, and explain project information faster.
Think of Claude as a patient assistant for the text-heavy side of practice. It can read long project documents, follow a chain of reasoning, and help you turn rough information into structured output. That matters because architecture and construction are full of long context. A design brief may start as a client call, then become an email thread, then a PDF, then a meeting memo, then a change request. Claude is useful when the problem is not one single question, but a pile of related information that needs to become clear enough for a team to act on.
The first use case is the client brief. A client may say they want a warm modern home, flexible workspace, storage for bicycles, a kitchen for family gatherings, and a quiet guest room. Later, they mention budget pressure, natural light, aging parents, and a preference for low-maintenance materials. In a traditional workflow, someone reads the notes and manually converts them into a program. With Claude, you can gather the email text, meeting notes, and early sketches, then ask it to produce a clean program summary, required spaces, approximate relationships, priorities, constraints, open questions, and items that need confirmation.
The value is not that Claude magically knows the correct design. The value is that it makes the hidden assumptions visible. For example, it might notice that the client asks for an open kitchen, but also wants strong acoustic separation from the living room. It might notice that the number of employees in a small office brief does not match the number of requested workstations. It might turn vague language like more storage into a list of storage types, seasonal items, office supplies, cleaning equipment, samples, archive boxes, and personal lockers. That gives the designer a better starting point for the next conversation.
A good workflow is simple. First, keep the source material separate and labeled. Second, ask Claude for a summary that distinguishes confirmed requirements from assumptions. Third, review the output as the professional in charge. Fourth, send only the cleaned and verified version to the client or project team. This is important. Claude can help you organize information, but it cannot replace the architect, engineer, or designer who understands the contract, local practice, and project risk. Use it as a drafting partner, not as the final authority.
The second use case is building codes and regulations. Every project has moments when someone must read a long regulation and translate it into a practical checklist. Stair egress width, fire separation, accessible clearances, parking requirements, zoning setbacks, occupancy load, guardrail height, or energy documentation can all become time-consuming. Claude can help by summarizing selected sections, extracting definitions, and turning the language into a checklist for your current project type. The key phrase is selected sections. You should provide the relevant code text or official excerpts, because building regulations change by location and date.
Here is a realistic example. Suppose you are reviewing a small mixed-use renovation. You collect the relevant egress code sections, the occupancy assumptions, and a short description of the building. Claude can summarize the main requirements, list the numbers that appear in the text, and create a review checklist. Confirm occupancy classification, calculate occupant load, verify required exit count, check stair width, check door swing, check travel distance, and mark items that need a licensed professional review. It can also format the checklist so it can be used in a meeting or QA review.
But this is where discipline matters. AI can summarize code text incorrectly if the input is incomplete, if a definition is missing, or if the jurisdiction has exceptions. So the correct attitude is not, Claude approved the design. The correct attitude is, Claude helped me prepare a checklist, and now the responsible professional will verify it. That difference protects your project. It also makes the tool more useful, because instead of asking it to be a building official, you ask it to reduce reading friction and help you catch the questions you should already be asking.
The third use case is construction communication. During construction, information moves quickly. A contractor sends an RFI about a detail. A consultant replies with a sketch. A product submittal arrives with a different dimension than expected. A drawing revision changes a note on one sheet but affects 3 other sheets. Claude can help classify RFIs by topic, summarize the question, identify which drawing sheets are mentioned, and draft a neutral response outline. It can also compare 2 text versions of a specification or change description and highlight what changed.
Imagine a project manager starting Monday with 40 unread construction emails. Instead of reading everything in order, they can paste the non-confidential text into a controlled workspace and ask for a table, sender, topic, project area, urgency, decision needed, responsible consultant, and due date. That does not answer the RFIs automatically, but it creates a command center. The human team can then prioritize structural questions, long lead product issues, client decisions, and site safety concerns. This is one of the strongest uses of Claude, turning communication overload into a structured action list.
The fourth use case is reports, emails, and meeting minutes. Many site visits end with rough notes. Waterproofing mock-up reviewed. Ceiling conflict near corridor. Client wants alternate tile. MEP to confirm access panel. Contractor requests response by Friday. Claude can turn these rough notes into structured meeting minutes with attendees, topics, decisions, action items, and open issues. It can also draft a client email that is polite, concise, and clear. This is especially helpful when a technical person knows what happened but does not want to spend 30 minutes polishing the language.
The best practice is to keep a human editing pass. Ask Claude for a draft, then check names, dates, responsibilities, and technical wording. Remove anything that sounds too certain if the team has not agreed. Add the project tone your office uses. For recurring reports, create a consistent structure: observation, location, impact, responsible party, next action, and deadline. Over time, this creates cleaner project records. It also reduces the chance that important decisions disappear inside long email threads that nobody wants to reread.
Later, this can become a semi-automatic workflow. A tool like N8N can watch a folder for new meeting notes, send the text to an AI model, save the summary to a cloud location such as OC, and notify the team. The first version does not need to be complex. Start with one document type, one folder, one summary format, and one review step. Once the team trusts the process, you can expand it to RFIs, submittals, project logs, and weekly reports. Automation works best when the underlying human workflow is already clear.
So, where should you start? Pick one painful document task this week. Maybe it is a client brief, a code checklist, an RFI log, or meeting minutes. Give Claude the source material, ask it to organize the information, and review the result carefully. If it saves 20 minutes and improves clarity, that is already useful. If it reveals missing questions before a meeting, it may save far more. The goal is not to turn an architect into an AI engineer. The goal is to make the information layer of practice less exhausting.
To recap, Claude can help architecture and engineering teams summarize client briefs, prepare code reading checklists, organize RFIs and revisions, and draft cleaner reports and emails. It does not replace licensed responsibility, but it can become a reliable project copilot for the text-heavy work around design. If you want more practical AI workflows for architecture, CAD, BIM, and construction, Subscribe to the channel, like this video, and comment with the document task you wish an AI assistant could handle for you next.